I don't like when people talk over me. Like, I really, really don't like when people talk over me. I don't feel you should talk over anyone. Have I talked over people in the past? Yes. I'm trying to get better at it. But I mean, when people just talk over you and they know you're talking, and it's like they're almost, when you talk over someone when they're talking, you're pretty much saying what I have to say is more important than what you're saying. So I'm just going to interrupt you and say what I need to say. And I know you can tell when someone does it on purpose. Some people get excited and they'll say something while you're speaking, and that's fine. Like, like, oh yeah, me too. Like, I'm not talking about that little stuff. I'm talking about the people who like know what you're like talking about, and then they just want to literally just cut you off as you're speaking. Like, if I don't acknowledge the fact that, like, my problem is, like, I don't really say anything when people do that to me, but I'm cursing you out in my head, like I promise you. I think it's so rude and demeaning. People like to talk more than they listen, and it kind of goes with that age-old saying, God, like, you have two ears and one mouth, so apparently you're supposed to listen more than you talk. That's what they used to say when I was growing up. Like, I don't like people who cut me off all the time when I talk, and they do it all the time. The people I live with and my landlord, it's just really annoying. I don't know if subconsciously they think I'm less than they are, or if they just, because they do it like habitually, and I've told them about it multiple times. Like, I've tried to be civil about it, but I didn't say anything just now or anything. I'm just saying, like, in the past, I just really sat down and remembered how much that really irritates me. Like, and it's just, it's really, it's rude and it's condescending. Like, when you're doing it on purpose, like, if you're talking about something like, no, blah blah blah, he's just this way. Like, when my roommates, the one who drinks all my who dr- or drank all my beer twice, mind you, when we were talking about that, and then the landlord was like, oh, he said, yeah, he shouldn't have done that, but he's just an alcoholic, while I was still talking about it. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just people do it. It's extremely condescending. That might be why he's still in the situation that he's in. I mean, obviously, no one's gonna want. I don't want him for damn sure. That's for. Anyway, that's not even my type. I'll put it. I'll just quite frankly, and like, you don't know how to respect, like, if it feels like they talk down to you because you're like a woman, and it's just weird. It's just I don't get it. Like, and then when my roommate gets drunk, he, like, the one that who drank all the beer, he'll start talking over you too. Like, he'll interrupt what you're saying, and then he'll just start talking about something else, and then wonder why I don't want to talk to his ass later. And then he'll be like, "Oh, are you okay? Are you okay?" No, motherfucker, you just like cut me off in the middle of a fucking sentence, and you do it all the time. And being 34 years old, you should know better. Like, and it's not like this is like a one-time thing that happens. He does it like habitually when he's drunk. So when he's like drunk, I don't like to be around him. Like I said, it's like, please, like, I would be completely fine if I came, if he, like, if I lived in this house and he never said another word to me. But these people, you have to, some people, like I said in my other video, you cannot expect people to want to talk to you just because you inhabit the same living space. Like, my friend and I from work were talking about that the other day. I didn't sign on to be your best friend or your drinking buddy or your fucking, social companion. Like, I didn't sign up for any of that shit. I came because I wanted a place to live. Now, if a friendship blossoms between us, naturally, not forced, then that's fine. But don't expect me to sit here and talk to you like, like all the time, like I'm your fucking confidant. Because, like I said, I did not sign up for that. I signed on for the room. And I know if I didn't say anything to him, he'd be like, oh, Desiree's acting funny, blah, 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 to the landlord. And then, since they've been friends for 7 years, he'd probably be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, my landlord would probably be like, oh, just kind of talk to him, blah, 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 and all this other shit. And it's like, really? Like, really? Not in 2016, we're really still stuck on that? Like, it's just like, I don't want to talk to him. Anyways, at 34 years old, he's been here for 7 fucking years, and I don't think he's capable enough to live on his own. Like, I know there's like money and all this other stuff going into it, but he's just a dumbass. There's no other way to put it. Like, he's a functional dumbass, but still a dumbass. That's why he hasn't done anything with his life. He's literally been going to jail in and out and all this other shit since he's been fucking in the house. Like, seriously. As soon as I get enough money and resources after I get my car, I'm thinking I might be here for a little bit longer, but it won't be no damn 7 years, that's for sure. I'm taking my black ass and going up the road, and I plan to get like an apartment or something like that. Just a really small apartment. you know, the 1 bedroom, but that'll be after I get my vehicle because that's the goal right now. That's the goal for 2016 is to get a car, and I want a pickup truck, but I want car preferably and a computer so I can finish my online classes and become a social worker. And so I'll be making my real money in my real career. But yeah, if you cut people off like intentionally just because you feel like it's subconsciously that's what you're saying. Like what I have to say is more important. I don't care that you're talking. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk anyway. That's what you're saying to someone essentially when you cut them off, even if you don't verbally use those terms. That's what you're saying. If you're when you cut someone off intentionally and you know you're cutting them off, no matter what they're talking about, you're saying what I have to say is more important. Fuck you. That is exactly what you're saying to that person, and they have a right to be upset. Am I perfect? No. Do I make a conscious effort? Like, do I try not to interrupt people? Yes. And I know emotions get involved, and sometimes we're just going to interrupt each other. But when you're consistently doing it, like it just starts to. It's just that shows that that's what type of person you are. It shows like really, like it's a good like indicator that that's your personality. You're pretty much saying I cut people off. Like I just cut them off. Like I'm rude. I'm not considerate of how other people feel. What I have to say is more important. It's a highlighter of your real character and your true self. Like it really is the way that you interact with other people. Like, people who can't listen, I can't. I don't like being around people who can't listen. It's just like kind of obnoxious and rude. I don't see why you feel the need to cut me off. Like I said, just going back to what I said earlier, it just doesn't make any sense. If you don't want to if you don't want to listen to what the other person has to say and you want to keep cutting motherfuckers off, then just have a conversation with yourself. Like, don't talk to anybody because clearly you don't have the communication skills and ability to sit there and have a conversation with someone and then listen. The conversation takes at least two people, a real conversation, at least two people. One listening to the other, one speak, and so on and so forth. You go back and forth. But just cutting someone off and just talking over them, you just need to go talk to yourself because really it's just other people shouldn't have to deal with that. Like, I can't believe, especially as old as this motherfucker is. He's in the house right now and he's going back to his place. Like, why would you just, like, both of them do that, actually. Cut them off, both of them. And they sit here and got the nerve to ask me, why are they still single? Well, I'm single too, so, like, I wouldn't fuck any of them, so, like, seriously, like, it's just, like, their social skills suck. They don't have any real, men skills, like, other than handyman work and all this other bullshit. But the other one doesn't want to be referred to as a handyman, so I guess I'm not gonna say that. But it's essentially what he is. I don't care. It's just like what the. I don't get it. Like some people just get on my. It's just. I really don't. Oh look. I promise you. I think white people are the only people who wear bicycle helmets. Every time they're the ones that I see who wear bicycle helmets. Not that that means. It's just like when I never see a lot of people wear helmets. I'm like, I promise, like white people, I always see them with helmets on their bicycles. I don't fucking know. And they're not even going that fast half the time, but I guess whatever. It's just, I don't understand. Like, people just so wrapped up in themselves. Like, I'd rather you just not fucking talk to me if you can't. Like, just sit there and have a regular conversation. Things happen. I don't expect people to be perfect, but I don't know. It's just like when you do it over and over after I've already politely asked you to let me finish speaking, and I'm not even hard to get along with. And for the most part, if you can't get along with me, I'm extremely I'm very considerate. So for the most part, not in every situation, I can admit fault when I am indeed wrong. But for the most part, if you can't get along with me, you're an asshole. Like if you can't get along with my general personality, chances are, not always, chances are you're an asshole. But obviously, I'm gonna be workable in this situation. I haven't really said anything. You know, it's just like it just annoys just like the shit at like it annoys me when people do that, like especially when they're constantly doing it, and it's just kind of you've already hinted or alluded to them that it annoys you, and I have said it, like it's like really, and they just kind of laugh it off. It's just weird, but it's Spinny Sunshine. Stay posted.